Hello everyone, I'm Andy Hodges coming to you live for Sebastian Daily on this beautiful Friday afternoon. We've got some clouds in the skies. We're going to talk about the weather in just a second. You can also check us out on Xfinity channel 1098 if you have cable television in Sebastian. Got a lot of winds out here today, so I hope that you can hear me with the microphones. 83 degrees, overnight low tonight will be 75. Rain chances increasing Saturday and Sunday. There's a few isolated thunderstorms this evening as well as this weekend, so regardless, it is going to rain. The big question is how much of that rain are we going to get? Rain is moving in from the west, so here's the thing. We got the rain moving in from the west, and we have these winds out of the east, and a lot of times these winds are gusting up to 30 miles per hour. So as the strength of these winds are coming out of the east, we think that this weekend we're not going to have as much rain as the forecasters are predicting. It's just something that we see weekend after weekend. We see this all the time, where there was going to be 100% chance of rain, and then it ends up being 25% of the rain. So keep that in mind when you hear the forecast for this this weekend. You know, it's going to be 50-50 on whether it's going to rain. There is a tropical disturbance out there. I'm sure you're probably getting some alerts on that. We don't think we're going to get this thing, and I'll tell you why. This storm is heading up to Cuba, and then it's going to steer back out west again. So we're getting all these notifications from the county of Indian River County warning us of a tropical storm that's coming, but we don't believe we're going to get that. We think this thing is going to head back out west and then possibly move up north in the Gulf. So we're probably going to get some rain from that, I'm sure, as it moves north, but we're not going to get a full impact of a tropical storm at this time here in Sebastian. We have a giveaway coming up. Las Palmas and Sebastian Daily are giving away a $50 gift certificate. So make sure you're entered to win, and how you enter is you become a newsletter subscriber with Sebastian Daily. You go to our website, sebastiandaily.com, and then you click on the newsletter button at the top, and make sure you're registered. The winner will be announced Monday, November 23rd. And yes, we have recovered from COVID-19. We want to thank everyone for their thanks and blessings and prayers and just everything. We really appreciate everyone that wished us a happy recovery. I tell you, this virus, this thing is not what you want. We were sick for 10 days. Our symptoms were a little different between my wife and I. We have an article coming out about the symptoms that we had, but it was a horrible virus. Some people say they only get a cold, but I'm going to tell you something. This thing hit us hard. It was a bad time for us for 10 days. So it was just 10 days of vomiting and feeling nauseous and diarrhea, and I've lost a lot of weight from this thing. This thing is not, a light virus. This thing hit us hard, and anyone can get this virus. Sadly, there are a few people in town who still think this thing is a hoax. I'm here to tell you this virus is not a hoax. And in the minute when I told people to wear a mask, because we feel that's how we got it, we relaxed a little bit on wearing our mask when we going to the restaurants and that sort of thing. We don't believe we got this thing from anyone in our particular friends group of friends. There's just so many people that have come down from up north. They come up and they talk to us, and we usually wore a mask when that conversation happens. So I didn't wear one, unfortunately, and we both got sick. So it's a lesson to be learned. It reminds us that we're in a pandemic. We are in a national emergency in this country, and a lot of people are not taking this seriously. Do you know when the last time our country had a national emergency? It was 9/11. 9/11, almost 20 years ago, and here we are, we have a national emergency. How come we took that so seriously, but there's a worldwide pandemic of millions of people getting this virus, and people, are saying, oh, it's not that bad. As soon as I started telling people to wear masks, some people came out of the woodworks and said, oh, here we go. Andy, he's a Biden supporter. Look out, everyone. His true colors are coming out. Where did that come from? Where did the Joe Biden thing come from? Listen, if you want to know, I'm neither a Republican or a Democrat. My wife and I have always been registered independents. And I wasn't even voting for Joe Biden this year, so I don't know where that came from. And then people kept telling us over and over and over again, there's a 99.7% chance of survival on this thing, and that's great. But just because it's 99.7% recovery rate, I'm sorry, not positive rate, recovery rate, it doesn't mean that other people aren't going to get it, okay? If that's true, 99.7% people are going to recover from this, what about the other people? That's 700,000 people left in the United States that could die from this thing. What about those people? Now, as soon as I said something like that the other day, I think it was last week, a couple of people said, oh, that's nonsense. You're blowing this out of proportion. Listen, and they're like, the number of deaths are low right now. Listen, those number of deaths could go right back up again, so don't let that fool you. And these numbers are kind of going up right now. So don't let anyone tell you that this virus is something little, it's no big deal. Don't fall for that. This thing was 10 days of hell for us. It's just, I can't emphasize even more now that I've had the virus, that why people, should be wearing masks, should be following the simple guidelines of helping themselves and helping other people. We got to get back to this as a community and stop this nonsense. We have to protect ourselves and other people, and especially the elderly people. And there's still going to be people out there who are going to claim that I'm overhyping this virus. When it's here in Sebastian. We're going to be talking about some of these numbers. I can tell you this, after having COVID, I've lost my taste buds as well as my wife. We have no taste buds. Everything we eat tastes like metal or cardboard. We have no sense of taste whatsoever, and we have low energy. We're doing this broadcast earlier than usual because I'm afraid that in a couple of hours I might not have enough energy. So this thing takes the energy right out of you. Even after you recover, you still have these symptoms of no taste and low energy. Now, just because we've had it does not mean we're immune to this thing. We're going to be wearing our mask like you won't believe. Everywhere we go, we're wearing a mask. And we're going to be social distancing with our friends and that sort of thing. So don't let people fool you that this thing, or downplaying this virus, because I've known people who used to think it was a hoax, and then they got it and they were like, this is not a hoax, So I don't want to see anyone go through what my wife and I went through. This is a pretty serious virus, and did I die? No, I didn't die, but there are people that will, and that's the thing that we got to get the message out. Until this thing is out of here, expect to be in a global pandemic. We forget that we're in this global pandemic. The whole election process was ridiculous about this virus, telling people, oh, because you're wearing a mask, you must be for Joe Biden. Why are people doing this? I've never seen this in my entire life, where there's so much bickering about a virus and who's on the left and who's on the right, and oh, they must be on the right then if they don't believe that the virus exists. What the heck happened here? This virus has Doesn't care if you're Democrat, Republican, or independent, it will infect you. So please take this seriously. It's if you get it, then you can pass it on to someone else, especially an older person who lives here, and they could die from this thing. But you know what? That's not even it. Children have died from this virus. So it affects all ages. Does it affect more older people? Maybe. I mean, the median age now of getting infected is in, between 35 and 40 now. So listen, we gotta stand guard here, and don't let your guard down like we did. It was so unfortunate that we got infected with this thing. And listen, it's been a couple of weeks now, and I still have no energy, and I've lost my taste buds, and some physicians said that could go on for months. Now, just because we got infected does not mean that we're immune to this thing. Okay, there's studies coming out saying that some people don't have immunity. Other people might have immunity for 4 months or less. Well, those months go by like that. So yeah, we could get it again. We could actually contract this virus again if we're not careful. So nobody wants this thing, and I don't want to see anyone in Sebastian go through what we went through. So there you have it. That's my speech about it. We're going to have an article come out about it, about the different symptoms that I had compared to my wife, and she got over it a little bit faster than I did, but we both have low energy and no taste buds. So it's still unfortunate, but we'll live with that. I don't want to go through what I went through for those 10 days. The good news is, we're both asthmatic, and we didn't get the chest stuff, and we're so thankful for that. It could have been a lot worse had I'm a former smoker. I smoked for 26 years, and I gave up the cigarettes about a decade ago, but it always worries me when I get any kind of bronchitis or sickness in the lungs, and this one worried me because a lot of people that were former smokers or asthma get this thing really bad, and we are so fortunate that we didn't have it in our lungs. We had everything else except for the lung and respiratory problems. So we're so thankful for that, and we made it through. So please wear your mask. I'm speaking to you from my heart. Please wear the mask, or you're going to end up getting this thing, and it's going to be 10 days of hell. And again, I know there's some people that claim they had it and it was just a cold and some sniffles, but that's not what we've had. And a lot of people that I know that have had this virus, it's so far worse. So please wear the mask, social distance, wash your hands. You know the drill. We're not out of the woods yet. We're a long ways away, but the sooner that we get back to doing this as a country, as a state, as a community, the sooner we can get rid of this. Listen, wearing a mask has proven in places in Europe, states like Massachusetts and Florida, that when you wear that mask, the numbers of new infections drop. It's just a fact. Now, I know there's people that say, but wearing a mask, that doesn't work. Those masks aren't going to keep you or prevent you from getting sick. It helps, all right? It's not going to be 100%, but it will help protect you and others. So I'm not going to keep talking about it, but please wear the mask. Please follow our advice if you can, please, because you do not want this thing, and you especially don't want your children to have it either. This thing is just bad. So there you have it. We have an article coming out here soon. Let's talk about some news that we've had here locally. A 36-year-old man was arrested after he discharged a firearm in the public at Earl's Hideaway Lounge. Police received multiple calls about shots being fired at Earl's Hideaway Lounge. Witnesses said that a blue truck carrying lawn equipment fled the scene shortly after these shots were fired. Minutes later, police located the truck on Roseland Road, where they made a traffic stop and they made contact with Chase Harris Lee. He told police that he was punched by an unknown man out at the bar, and he said he would have used his gun had he had it on him, but the gun was in the truck. And he later was very angry about getting hit by this guy, and he fired multiple shots into the ground, and he emptied the whole magazine in his gun. So he fired them all and then he left. Lee told police what's that? What's that? Yeah. Oh, he shot the weapon in the ground in the parking lot, not inside the bar or nothing like that, but in the ground outside in the parking lot next to his truck. There was never a gun or a weapon inside Earl's Hideaway Lounge, just outside. But he said he was just frustrated, and he said he's never done anything like this before, but he was frustrated due to being punched, and he had been drinking, and he said he wasn't thinking logically. He was arrested for using a firearm under the influence of alcohol and for discharging a firearm in public. Listen, leave your guns at home. This is why some people shouldn't have a weapon or a gun. Anything could have happened that night. The man even said that had he had his gun on him when he was hit, he probably would have used it. Listen, leave them at home if you're going to go to a bar. It's just not good. Anyway, he faces some serious charges, and we'll follow up on that story as his case moves on. Also, Sebastian voters re-elected Ed Dodd and Jim Hill for city council this week, and actually Jim Hill received over 8,000 votes alone, the highest of any candidate, which is on record. Both Jim Hill and Ed Dodd received more than twice the votes than Bill Simmons and Diana Bolton. It was an incredible night for both of them. A lot of the people here in Sebastian give them credit for holding down the city when all that stuff was going on with Pam Paris, Damian Gillums, and Charles Malty trying to vote to fire the staff and appoint Damian Gillums as the new mayor. We all remember that back in April. Well, it was Jim Hill and Ed Dodd that a lot of people are crediting of holding down the city, trying to keep the city safe during all this time, and a lot of people are thankful for them. So they are the city's mayor and vice mayor. There was actually 79% turnout for the polls this year, which is very high for our county. So re-electing Jim Hill and Ed Dodd does send a message from voters that they will never again make the same mistake they made last year when they elected Damian Gillums, Pamela Paris, and Charles Malty. Let's talk about some events that are going on here this weekend. Today, Greg and Brian are performing live at Captain Hiram's at 3 o'clock today. At 5 o'clock, Oscar will be live at Las Palmas. He will be live today, Saturday and Sunday, same time, 5 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, Eric Lee Webb Duo will be at Tiki Bar and Grill. At 7 o'clock, East Harbor will be at Captain Hiram's. And at 7 o'clock, the Sebastian River versus Okeechobee High School football. It is a home game tonight at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., remember our heroes, Sons of the American Legion Squad 189. They will be meeting at the cemetery in Sebastian at 9 o'clock. At 10 a.m., there's a kids fishing tournament at La Porta Farms. At 12 o'clock, Acoustic Inferno will be at Captain Hiram's Sandbar. At 2 p.m., Nasty Habits will be at Earl's Hideaway Lounge. At 3, the Art Festival Ale with Happy Cake will be at Paradoya Brewing Company. On Sunday, 9 a.m., Breast Cancer Benefit and Poker Run at American Legion Writers Chapter 189. At 1 o'clock, NFL Game Day at Captain Hiram's. And at 2, Big L and the Heavyweights will be at Earl's Hideaway Lounge. Also, karaoke is back at Captain Hiram's with Doug. It's at 6 o'clock Sunday. And for more news and events, just visit us, SebastianDaily.com. You can click on events and see everything that's going on in our hometown. COVID-19 cases. New cases are averaging 2,500 to 6,500 during the past week. In Florida, that's about double the numbers from the weeks prior. In the state, the numbers are going up. I don't know if you've heard, nationwide, they had 106,000 new cases yesterday and 100,000 cases the day before. So these numbers are going up all across the board, even here in Sebastian. Sebastian is now at 446. Roseland 5, Micco 14, Barefoot Bay 41, Grant 44, Fellsmere 438, Wabasso 9, Vero Beach 2,812. So the numbers are rising across the board. They're nothing like they are down in well, up in Orlando or Miami-Dade, but the point is that the numbers are growing. In the county, there's a total of 4245. That's 30 new cases today in Indian River County. There have been 126 deaths. There's been one new death today, unfortunately, in Indian River County from COVID-19. And let's talk about Brevard County. The total is 12,785, 123 new cases today in Brevard County. The deaths in Brevard County are up at 385. Like I said, health officials are still urging everyone to wear a mask to protect you, protect others, wash your hands regularly, social distance. Listen, there's nothing wrong with sitting with, let's say, your spouse and some friends that you know, as long as you're 6 feet apart and you don't have to wear a mask, especially if you're outdoors. So if you see spouses together and they're 6 feet apart from other people and they're not wearing a mask, it is because they are social distancing, and a lot of people forget that. Listen, we don't have to panic about this pandemic, and I've never suggested that we should. We have to live with this thing, but we gotta be safe. Otherwise, more people are gonna get this thing. This is not something you wanna mess with. It is not something, even talking right now, I've lost my energy. So even when you heal from this thing, you still have the after symptoms, and it's just no fun. It's no fun to wake up full of energy in the morning and then gradually you just get tired through the day, you know. But you know, we're not at 100%, but we know we will be in the coming days, and we got to stay positive and optimistic. Listen, there is a pandemic, but it doesn't mean we can't be safe. We can be safe. We got this virus because we didn't wear our mask, and we were not being safe. And I have to take accountability for that, and it's unfortunate. So don't make the same mistake we made, okay? Listen, we'll have more videos and broadcasts this weekend. Try to stay dry from the rain. This rain's going to be on and off all weekend. Like I said, we might not get the full impact of all the rain because of the eastern winds. So I'm Andy Hodges, coming to you live for Sebastian Daily.